Hey folks, welcome back to Dan's Auto Diagnostics and Repair. As you can see, we got back the Grand Prix. It's a 2007 Grand Prix with the 3.8. And this time she's here for a water pump. So let's go and check that out, make sure it is a water pump, and take care of it. Let's get after it. We've got the borescope out, and you can see that there's plenty of rust and looks like some kind of sealer. Looks like somebody put some sealer in this to cure this leak. So I think somebody put some stop leak in there, and that's what we're seeing all over the water pump there. But I think that's pretty definitive that it's coming out of the water pump. I did take a look at it earlier, and it was coming out of the bottom, spraying out of the bottom there onto the belts, and pretty much couldn't have been coming from anywhere but the water pump. So now that we got the borescope down in there, we can see it. It's time to make the call. So we're going to change it out. We got the vehicle running now, and you can see it's very clear. Getting a little antifreeze on my borescope down there, but you can see it just dripping out of that water pump. So that's definitive. Time to get to work. We're not parts changers, so we got to be sure. Look at that in there. Look at that. Looks like somebody tried to put some stop leak in there. So somebody knew that this was leaking before. Hopefully they didn't clog up the radiator. Alright, I got my serpentine belt tool on there. I'm going to take tension off of that belt and take the belt off. Just like that. Take the tool out. Take the belt out. Go ahead and get that out and inspect it. Yeah, it looks really good. Looks like a new belt. That's good. Maybe not. We got a few little cracks in there. Like right here. Not too bad though. There's a few. At this point, I removed the fuse box. It's just two screws here and here, just to get it out of the way. I also removed the expansion tank. That's right there. It just hangs on by two bolts here, and those two bolts are here on the shock tower, here and here. So I took that out, got that. Now the water pump doesn't seem all that bad. All them bolts, fairly easy to get to, except for the one that's going to make this whole entire job a complete disaster. Let's see, the sun's really got me here. But you see that one bolt right there at the very end, and it's right behind the power steering pump pulley. Just one bolt. Come on, GM. You can do better than that. In service data, it says to remove the power steering pump. It's completely ridiculous for one bolt. I mean, GM could have made it just an inch to the right or something. I mean, it doesn't have to be right in a way. It's ridiculous. I want to show you what I got to do here. In order to take this power steering pump loose, you get a bolt back here, and then a bolt down there where my ratchet is. But the pulley has holes in it, so you can access that fairly easy. So I'm getting this bottom one out now. I already got the top one out. Okay, I think that's all the way out there. Now let's see if that will give us the room Oh, there we go. See that? Now it shouldn't be too rough. Now we got the room to get that last bolt out of the water pump. See it better back here maybe. Yeah, there's that bolt right there. But now we're able to peel the power steering pump away. So that ain't too bad. Not as bad as I thought. All right, I took that last bolt out. She's PPing out of there. Let's see if we can get this water pump off now. Oh, there it is. And that's it. So I'm ready to put in the new water pump. And this is the gasket that I got with it. It's just kind of like one of them paper gaskets. And typically, that would be something that you would use sealant on. But the instructions in the box don't say to use sealant. It doesn't say not to use sealant, but it doesn't say to use sealant. And all data doesn't say whether to use it or not use it. I called around and nobody has it in their computers whether to use sealant or not either. So, I think I'm going to try to go with not seal it. We'll see. You can see on here it says step 5, remove all gasket material from the pump mounting surfaces. And then step 6 is just to make sure that it's the right one. Step 7, we're already tightening bolts. Nothing about sealing. Alright, so I was a little scared not to go with any sealant, so I got some water pump and thermostat gasket sealer. It's a little guy here. Water pump and thermostat gasket cleaner, or sealer. So we're going with that. There's both sides. Let's go put it in. Before I put it in, I just wanted to show you that I did clean up those mating surfaces real good. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's a weird angle. I can't even film it that good. I'm going to start with the long bolts first. The bolts came out a little crummy, so just wanted to get the wire brush after them, clean them up a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to get in the short bolts. So first you torque the big bolts, the long bolts, and then you torque the small bolts. I'm still just tightening. I'm just going to snug these up a little bit. And I'll snug up the little bolts. The long bolts you torque to 25 foot-pounds, and then the short bolts you torque to 16 foot-pounds. And then once you got the pulley on, the pulley bolts are 115 inch-pounds. Okay, the long bolts, let's torque to 25. Alright, there she is. Got her in. And the water pump is, or the power steering pump is secure as well. So that wasn't too bad. Now I just need to put on the pulley and put it all back together. I ran into a little problem. When I started filling up the vehicle with coolant, it started leaking out of the bottom. I was like, oh, what the heck's going on? So I looked at the water pump. It was leaking from the water pump. I'll show you on the old one. It's got two locating dowel pins on it. And for some reason, they decided to drill all the way through the block into the water jackets, or wherever the water is, instead of just a little bit, or have something that was welded in or something. It goes all the way to the water jacket. That way when you pull out the dowel pin, it starts leaking. And our dowel pin's missing. Why? I don't know. But if you look on this pump here, it'll actually set in the car like that. There's a dowel pin hole right there and a dowel pin hole right there. This dowel pin was in it. This dowel pin was not. I thought I was missing a bolt, but I wasn't. It was a dowel pin, and water is leaking right out of there. Why they decided to drill all the way to the block, that's just more idiotic engineering. But I got to find a dowel pin for that, seal it up, or I'm going to have to tap it and thread a screw in there with some sealant and then seal it up. That's all I got. Well, either way, I got to take it all apart. Not all apart. I don't have to take the water pump off or anything, but I do have to take the belt off, take the fuse box off, the expansion tank, so that I can get in there and do whatever it is I got to do. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'm going to try to get this dowel pin. If I can't find it, we're tapping and dying. Okay, just tapping, not dying, which is a good thing. So here we are again. I got it all down to the water pump. Took the fuse box off. I took the battery out this time so that I can put the fuse box in the battery spot so I have more room in here. It used to be with the battery in here. This was kind of in the way still, but now we got that nice and tucked out of the way. We got full access, and if we got a drill into there, I can get my angle drill and drill in there and tap it. But that's where it's coming out, right there. I'm gonna try this little deal here. That bolt just about fits perfect in there. It's almost like a dowel pin. So what I'm gonna do, mix up some of this JB weld here. Quick weld, stick it in there with the bolt, see what we got. That's as close as I can get to it, but there it is. With the bolt in it, and then I packed more on top of it. So, how does a water pump job turn into a crank no start? When your son decides to help you out and drops a bolt behind the crankshaft pulley. I didn't film it, I was a little upset at the time, but I got the crank sensor out. You can see how that bolt busted this off. It's supposed to be 3 little lumps there. That's busted. The bolt fell back in here, and these were bent too. I bent them back best I could. I straightened them all out. They were bent up. I have that footage on a borescope. I'll try to post it. But it just carried that bolt through that sensor, because these run through these grooves and the inside one runs through the other groove, and it kind of sets like that. Well, when a bolt gets dragged through here, it goes right through this edge. So yep, costed me time and money. If I can get the footage off of my borescope and post that on there for you, I'll show you that before I pulled that pulley off, I was actually trying to get up in there and bend those fingers back on the reluctor wheel, because they were all bent. You could see where the screw went right through them. So I was trying to bend those back, and at the time I didn't know that the sensor was actually broke. I figured it was, but yeah, I straightened them out best I could with the pulley still on, and didn't work, so I had to pull it off, and as you can see, crank sensor's garbage. Alright, hopefully I can post that. Like I said, I was a little frustrated when I pulled this off, so I didn't even whip out the camera. I was just fixing stuff. If you need to know how to take this pulley off, well, you get this little crow foot puller. You know, you take the bolt out, of course. That's the size bolt that holds that on. And then, of course, you get the big threaded screw that goes down there, pushes on the crankshaft, and pulls that out. That's it. Alright, it's the next morning. Last night I went out and got the new crank sensor. They didn't have OEM. It's the weekend. I can't get it, and I got to get this car out. So we're back to the high quality standard. Aftermarket, yes. Is it a good idea to do crank sensors and cam sensors other than OEM? Not really, but standards never let me down. They're the highest quality that O'Reilly has to offer besides OEM. They didn't have it, so we're going to throw it in, give it a shot. Here you can see what the new sensor is supposed to look like, and there you can see what busted on the old one. That bolt just went right through that and bent up some of these tabs here. And I think I got them pretty straight. I hope so, because you can't just buy this reluctor wheel. You have to buy the whole balancer, and that's like $150 or something. Crazy. So I cleaned up the surfaces where the crank sensor is going to go. I cleaned up the connector a little bit. Gave it a good douching with the old brake clean. So we're going to put that on there. See what we got. It's about the best view I can give you guys. So the crank sensor goes up in here like this. And there's just 2 bolts. Got one in it at the top. Oh, I also got to mention there's a dowel pin right there too. And that lines up with that little hole in the back of the sensor. So let's get you in there. So there's the finished product all in there. Now we got to put the harmonic balancer on. And now we pray. We pray that none of those fingers are bent too much. Just looking for the keyway there. It's kind of at the 5 or 7 o'clock position. All right, should be good. And now the bolt. We'll just pull that on. It. She's on. All right, everything's hooked up. Moment of truth. All right. She's a runner. Fantastic. All right, that's one problem out of the way. Now we can finally get back to the original problem. What's worse than working for free? Paying to work for free. All right, I got the whole mess back together again. I filled her up. She's not leaking so far. I still just got to put this bar on there, do something with the battery cable, tighten them up and everything. But she's ready to start and test. Cross your fingers. Alright, she's running. Belts all lined up. Doing good. We'll let her get up to temperature and see what we got. Well, she's up to operating temperature. And no signs of any leakage yet. Still bone dry there. Nothing I can see underneath. Looks dry. All right, I'm gonna start putting this back together, get it together 100%. Go take it for a test drive. Well, I've been driving for a bit. She seems to be holding steady. Temperature looks good. Now, I'm just gonna find a place to pull over and check underneath, pop the hood, just make sure she's still good, and verify the fix. All right, we're here. We're back at the shop. Everything looks good. don't see any leaks underneath. I'm going to call that a fix. Alright folks, that's a fix. This one is going to get shipped. Hope you enjoyed that one. It was a little bit of a diag, but not really. We knew what was happening. Sucks when a water pump job becomes more because, you know, somebody screwed up. Free work, and I had to pay, so not good. So if you like that one, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified of the next video that comes out, and thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.